Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Like I always say, whatever it is good. And you know what? Okay, I had to hurry up and check my internet and make sure we were good because sometimes it acts a little funky. But how are you guys doing? I hope you are doing amazing. I hope your Christmas and holiday was just amazing. For me, it was a bit tiring. But that's just how it is sometimes with kids, and especially when you're splitting the holidays between families. So that's what we were doing. We were just running around, but it was great. It was great seeing everybody. It was great just being present and being there and being in the moment and just getting a chance to see everybody happy and joyful. So that was good. So I hope your holiday was good. And how are y'all feeling that it is what, the 28th? It's the 28th of December. We are about to go into another year's 2023. I just can't, I just, I needed a little bit of time to soak that in because it feels like we just got into January 2022 and now we're walking into January 2023, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, this year came and it went." But I don't know how you're feeling about it, but I just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. Are you ready? How are you feeling about this year? What things were good? What things do we want to carry into 2023? A lot of times we look at the things that didn't go well and we're like, oh, I want to change that. Or, oh my goodness, this time I'm not going to do this and this. But I want to switch the focus and first think about the things that went well. What things have we done in this year that we first of all we're proud of, right? That we're patting ourselves on the back. How much growth have you had and experienced this year? What were the things that you did to step out of your comfort zone? When did you face your fears? What type of courage did you build up that you want to go ahead and bring into 2023 and only magnify it in 2023? So what things went well? Of course, yes, we do. After talking about what things went well, we are going to think about the things that we want to do different. Of course, because as each year passes, as each day passes, as each week passes, each month, we want to continue to become better. And the only way that we can is to analyze what we're doing, how things are going. Are we on track to where it is that we want to be? And if we don't do that, it's kind of like you're shooting in the dark. If you have no target, if you aren't looking, if we've got this thing that's up here, even if you do have a target, right? We've got it up here, and I'm just shooting darts, and I'm just talking. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just shooting. I'm shooting. I'm shooting. And I never take the chance or take the time to look at it to see how far off I was from the actual target of where I wanted to be. Then guess what? The chances of me being or becoming better are very slim because I never took the chance to sit back and really analyze what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. So we really want to do that in life. We want to have those periods. Yes, the activity is great, doing is great, but also sitting back and y'all know I harp about this all the time of being still and evaluating what it is that our activity is actually bringing to us. What are we actually doing and how are we doing it is in alignment with where we want to go and where we want to be, and further than that, is it in alignment with where God wants us to be? We need to check all that stuff off. If it's not, this is the time to now, okay, I want to go a different route or I want to change directions or whatever it is that you have to do. But we definitely want to build in periods to be able to check that out, to be able to see. Are we moving in the direction that we want to go? Okay. And so, one of the things that I want to also highlight is that, because I told you I was checking in on y'all, because I wasn't feeling too great about moving into the new year, because there's some stuff that that I was promised at the beginning of this year that still hasn't come through, like my $1 million year. So that hasn't come through. And being debt free, that hasn't come through yet. And so I'm sitting there checking, and I'm like, look, we got a couple days before the end of the year. And if I heard you correct, you were saying by the end of this year, this would happen. So what's up? What's going on? And the doubts started to creep in, of course. And I just started questioning whether this was even going to happen. And then my mind started going to where, okay, well, if if it doesn't happen, does that mean that I didn't hear him correctly? Or what I have been hearing, I'm not hearing right. Is there something that I'm doing wrong? Is there, it's a whole rabbit hole that I went down, or that I was about to go down. And I ended up just writing. I told you I write a lot. If I'm not speaking it, I'm writing it. So I'm just writing down all my thoughts and all my questions and everything. And I ended up, it was late, y'all, so give me a break. But I ended up closing my eyes to pray. And I was praying about what I wrote down on the paper, but I ended up falling asleep. So yeah, but it was late. Okay. But I woke up and realized I was still on the couch. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go to sleep, right? So I checked my phone to see what time it is, and a YouTube video just popped up. And I haven't seen this girl in like, I haven't seen her, but her video popped up on my phone, and what it said was, the time is now, and now is the time. And so, just out of curiosity, I clicked the video. And so I was listening to it. And I'm going to tell y'all what hit me through the video and what I received, because it was something that I needed at that time. Because, like I said, I was doubting. I was writing down all these questions. I was wondering whether it was going to happen. And I know that there are some of you that are going to watch this, or that are watching this, that have goals and that have said that, this was going to happen by the end of this year. And that was something that was confirmed. That was something that you heard from God. That was something that was whispered into your spirit. That was something that was promised. But you're looking at your situation, you're looking at what's going on, and it's not seeming like it's coming to pass. And we don't have that much time. So what is going on? But I was reminded through that video that God isn't limited by time. What we think would take a thousand days, 1,000 years, whatever it may be, it can be one day for God. He's not limited by what we think and what we feel, the time constraints that we place on ourselves, and the time constraints that we live in. He's beyond that. Okay. And so anything can happen, and there's still room for him to perform miracles. This is the time to really, I don't know what you say, like really get down to the fact of your belief. And what are you going to do for, what is it, 28, 29, 30, 31, for the next 4 days? What are you going to do for the next 4 days? Because that was something that I had to write down. Once that hit me, I'm like, okay, so I just got confirmation that it's not too late. It's not too late. Just because at the time that I was looking, it was 5 days. It was 5 days left into the new year. And he reminded me, like, look, I can do what I want within one day. I can do it in 1 hour. It doesn't take me what you think it should take me, what you think would take somebody else, what you think would take yourself to complete the task or to complete the goal or whatever it is that you have in your mind. That is not something that he's constrained by. So as I was reminded by that, I wrote down, I'm like, okay, it's not too late. It's not too late. So what can I do within these next 5 days to really strengthen my trust, strengthen my belief, to show that I'm still here and I'm ready and I'm willing and I'm receptive to what it is that you're going to give me and how you're going to show up, however that may be. What can I do? And so I wrote a few things down of what that is, and one of them included just only speaking good, right? So I want us for the next 4 days and going into, but we're taking this little by little, right? Going into the new year too, but definitely for the next 4 days, just to really watch your mouth, watch how you're speaking, what you're speaking about, what things are you declaring. And I want us to move in a direction to where we're only speaking good. We're only declaring good on our lives. We're only claiming good. That's it. That's it. Nothing more. And so I was doing with this with my husband. And so we also said that we wanted to express more gratitude. So one of the things, I was reading this book the other day, and one of the things that stood out that the guy was saying is we have to, and we have the duty, if we want to change our mindsets, right? If we're doing things that we don't necessarily want to do, we're thinking things that we don't necessarily want to think, and we want to shift it in another direction, then it's our duty, right, to become a researcher of good in our lives. And so that's how he phrased it. And it was really where we are going through our day intentionally looking for the good. What things are good? What things are making me happy? What things are bringing me joy? What things do I want more of? And so at the end of the night, writing down at least three of those things in your journal, whatever it is. My husband and I were saying that we were going to write it down and then also discuss it between each other, because we just, we like talking to each other. But however you want to do it, do it. And so after a while of you doing that, and you knowing that at the end of the night, I gotta write down at least three things that were good. And not only stopping there, you write down what things were good, but then also telling and detailing why they're good. Why did they bring you joy? Why did you like it? Where did that come from? So you're having to go a little bit deeper. And so knowing that I have to do that every single night, then during the day, my mind is going to start looking for it because I already know what to expect at night. It's almost like I'm going to have a test at the end of the day. So if I'm going to have a test at the end of the day, then what do you normally do before a test? You at least look over what it is that you were given. If you were given a review, you're going to review it, right? You should at least. So we're going to review it. And that's the thing that you're training your mind to do, of where, okay, I know that I have to do this at the end of the night. So now I'm going to not even consciously be seeking out the good. And after a while, your mind is kind of trained in that direction. So that's what we are going to be doing for the next 4 days now. And so it was like, I think it was like two or three other things that we added, but I can't remember what it is. So whatever resonates with you, whatever you think would be best in your life for you to show up as the person who is fully trusting in what God has promised, fully trusting in the fact that it's not too late, fully trusting in the fact that it's still going to happen. Whatever it is that you can do to show up and to be bold and to be confident and to really stand in that trust, then I urge you to do that, because that is the thing that I got, is that, look, it is not too late. So I'm telling you, just like he told me, honey, because it's not, for a while here, I thought that when he talked, he was talking just to me. And so I would keep those things. And I'm like, okay, well, you're talking to me. You're confirming this for me. You're speaking directly to me. And then it was a time that he's like, look, I'm not just talking to you. Like, great that you're getting something because I'm talking to you, but I'm also talking to other people. So I want you to share it. So I'm sharing what he gave me. So if you're on the brink of giving up, honey, don't do it. Don't do it. And even if you feel like you have, right? Because that was me. That was me. I was questioning because a lot of times when you read these books and personal development books, prosperity books, inspirational books, all of those, it kind of makes it seem like you can't make mistakes. So we want to continually think and speak good, right? But it makes it seem like when you think the opposite, you're already attracting it. You've already done it. Yeah, you kind of fallen off. And so now you kind of have to start over and you've prolonged your process. And so for me, I know for this entire year, I have not been just on the straight and narrow. I have not been the one that's just like, oh yeah, it's coming. Oh man, standing firm in my faith and standing firm in the promise and standing because it was a huge, huge ask. Like it was huge. It's huge. And one of the things that really got me thinking is just the fact that, look, I'm not even doing anything right now to be able to bring in that type of money. You've literally pulled me out of everything. So, how could this happen? Again, worrying about the how. But it, first of all, if you're worried about the how, please don't. Please don't. Please, we're going to get to that later because I realize that I do that a lot. But it was huge. It was a huge ask. So, I didn't quite. I, I was on it at the beginning, and then it dropped, and then I got back on it again, and then it dropped, and then I got back on it. I got back on it again, and then it dropped, and that's just what happened. And so at the end, now when I'm looking at it was 5 days, I'm like, I haven't really been doing what I've been reading or what I feel like maybe you're supposed to be doing or where I'm just on it all the time. I'm like, I've had periods of doubt. I've had periods of worry. I've had periods of anxiety. I've had periods where I just don't believe that's going to happen. I'm looking at my situation. I'm like, what in the world? Like, he ain't come through yet. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing something right. Maybe it's not the time. Maybe it'll be next year. Maybe it will be all these other things that will come up. But I'm telling you, I was reminded there is no time. There is no set time limit or days or weeks or years, whatever it is, that you have to remain consistent in your belief. God is like, look, if you fall off, get back on. That's the thing. We are going to fall off. We are going to have those moments of doubt. We are going to have those moments of worry. We're going to have those moments of anxiety. We're going to sit there and question things. We're going to do those. But when you do, this is what, and we talk about this all the time because those things are going to come up. There is nothing that we can really do to block those things from coming. They come. Just like you can't block people from coming and ringing your doorbell. Like you just can't. To come up and take pictures of your house. They can do that and they will. There's nothing physically that you can do to keep people away from taking pictures of your house or ringing your doorbell. It's just not. It's the same thing with the thoughts. They will present themselves. But as they come, are we getting better at now when they come? How do I react? What am I doing? Am I going down this rabbit hole every single time? Is it where I now fall into that? And then it may take me a couple days or a week to get out of it still. Am I still doing that? Or is it where before it would take me a week to get out of it? Now it's only taking me a couple days. And then I move forward and it only takes me a day. And then I move forward again and it only takes me an hour. And I am continually growing. I'm continually getting better at this. This is what he's looking for, not perfection. And I just want to highlight the not perfection because I was having a time. I don't know. I wasn't really sleeping that well last night, and I haven't been sleeping that well for the past couple nights. But last night, it was brought to my attention that I do, and I already know this, seek perfection in a lot of things. And so I don't know if y'all know this, but it really pains me to come down here on Wednesday mornings and not have anything prepared, not have anything written. It really bothers me. It really, really bothers me. And so that was brought back to my mind. It's just like, look, the thing is that you're asking to be led. You want me to guide you, but you're taking control. You want to take control in every single step. That's not going to, it's not going to work. I'm going to need you to let it go. I'm going to need you to let it go. And this is how I'm preparing you and letting it go. This is part of it. When you come down here and you aren't prepared and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, what if I make a mistake? What if there's too many pauses? What if I go off topic? What is my topic? I don't even know. What if I'm just, just talking and it just doesn't make sense? All these things are going on in my mind. And God's like, look, just put it, just leave it. Stop trying to figure out the how. Just leave it to me and I will put the pieces together. But you have to let it go. That is the part. And that's the thing that I was just like, I do this, I do this a lot. I do this like all the time. And just just being able to release that, right? I had posted, y'all, I had posted a while back, and it was about just understanding basically how we always talk about having a peace that surpasses understanding, and we want that, we desire that. But I was saying, along with that, we're saying that we want that peace that surpasses understanding, but sometimes we don't realize that in order to actually achieve that, it takes us giving up our right to understand. And that's the same thing. And he brought me back. He was like, look, that's the same thing with being led. You want to be led. You want to receive what it is that I want to give you. And you want to be the mouthpiece for me. You want to be used. In order to be used, in order to be led, you got to first let go. You got to first give up your right to control. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. You're right. You're right. So, in those times, I'm not sure if you have those times, but in those times that you feel like, you know what? No, I am sure. I'm sure that you do have those times that you feel out of control. You feel like your situation is more dominating than your control over the situation. There's not much that you can do. There's things that are happening that are beyond what you can now reach out and change. Then understand that this is the time to just breathe and for me to just let it go. It is what it is. I leave it in your hands. I trust you. This is the time to affirm. This is the time to strengthen your trust. These are the preparation periods that we talked about last week, right? Even though we talked about it a little bit different, but this is a part of preparation as well. So you've got to think like in this, if it's where I'm asking to be used, I'm asking to be the mouthpiece. I'm asking to be for me to be led in every single area of my life. Then when it comes to Wednesdays, which isn't something that I just woke up and was just like, oh, well, let me do a midweek morning hour of power. First of all, I didn't even come up with that name. Okay. I had no plans of doing anything like this. This is something that came to me. This was something that was laid on my heart. And since that was laid on my heart, I put it out there. I started it, But since I started it, I've been trying to control it. I'm just like, okay, so now I need some notes. I need this because it is always preached that you need to be prepared. You need to have everything together. So then it's concise, it's cohesive, it makes sense. But as we talked about last week, that's not always how God operates. Okay. Sometimes he does things out of our logical box. And that's a part of being led. That's a part of being guided. That's a part of surrender. It's just understanding that and going with it anyway. And so for me, coming down here every week, every Wednesday, and just doing this and not having anything, nothing, nothing prepared at all. But once I turn this camera on, I'm asking, I pray before this, and I'm like, look, Lord, just lead me, be my mouthpiece, let it flow, let the words just flow through me. And I picture myself being here and talking to you all and the words just flowing out with no problem. And this is what happens every single time. And he shows over and over that I got you. There is nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. So this is what I want you and I encourage you to do in your own life is just to pull back a little bit. Pull back, pull yourself back, pull back the reins, pull back the control, and allow God to work and show up in your lives like he's never shown up before. So then now in your time of reflection of where you're stepping back and you're analyzing how things are going, that can be a part of your analyzation of just, oh my goodness, you know what? He done showed up so many times. He shows up for me every single week when I have nothing to give at all. I have nothing. If it was up to me, we would be sitting here and I would just be looking at you and blinking my eyes because I have nothing else. I have nothing. But allowing myself to just be open and to be uncomfortable and to sit in it and allow myself to be receptive of whatever he is going to give and just for me to just flow off the tongue. This is how he shows up for me. How does he show up for you? That is your duty in these next 4 days to really peel back and see that. How is he showing up for me? How can I take this now into 2023 and and snowball it, right? And multiply it and stand firm on it and just understand and sit in that understanding, walk in that understanding, walk in that confidence and go into it because the one word I got for 2023, y'all, because I told y'all 2022, I got the word surrender. That was and it was a whole year of surrender. But the word that I got for 2023, and I'm going to share with you guys, but I didn't last time because I thought it was just for me. But I'm sorry. I'm going to share it this time, is focus. This is the year we are going into the year of focus. We have to zero in and we need to focus. We need to focus on that vision. We need to focus on the promise. We need to focus on what it is that God has laid on your heart. Focus in, zero in, and really keep that close to your eyes, close to your ears, close to your heart, wherever it is that you need to be able to walk in it. But not only just focusing, right? Because sometimes we do that and we focus on the big picture. So a part of my vision that I've shared with you guys is that look, I've seen my house, I've seen the lifestyle, I've seen me talking on stages to thousands of people and all this good stuff, right? But one of the things that I got caught up in is that I focused on just that. I focused on the lifestyle, I focused on the house, and I focused on the fact that I was going to be influencing and impacting and being in front of thousands, if not millions of people. And so at every juncture, I'm sitting there looking up and I'm like, okay, doesn't really look like we're close. So what am I doing wrong? Okay, so what's happening here? That's not what I want you guys to do because that's how you can trip yourself up very easily. One of the things that was brought to me is that I need you to get more specific, as detailed as possible with your vision. And what I mean is that you don't have to leave out the big stuff. That's great. The overall great big picture, grand picture, keep that. Definitely keep that. But when you're narrowing it down, so for me, if I'm saying I'm in front of thousands of people, I'm speaking, how does that feel? What do I feel like? What are the people's faces like when I'm speaking to them? When it's where I'm holding courses, I'm holding classes, what are they about? What are the things that they're interested in? What are the things that they're looking to do? What are the things that they're having problems with, that they're struggling with? What are the things that I'm helping them through? How is my interaction with them? Is it warm? Is it friendly? Is it where we feel like we're friends? Does it feel like they already know me? How is it when I'm sharing? What kind of things am I sharing? What kind of like I want you to think about all of the feelings, all of the emotions that are wrapped up in this thing, wrapped up in this vision, because as you move towards it, those are the things that are going to probably come first rather than the big picture, the car, the house, the lifestyle, the you having millions of followers, you standing in front of millions of people, you traveling, all this stuff is going to come, right? It's going to come. But before that comes, you're going to feel the things before you see the things. So I want you to identify how it is that you want to feel. What do you want people to feel when they come in contact with you? When you have your business or whatever it is that God has laid on your heart, if it is a business, how do you want your service to be? When people come in contact with your business, what do you want them to think of? What is the first thing that you want to pop in their head about your business and about your service? What do you want them to tell their friends about you? What is it? And those are the things that I want you to write down when we're talking about our vision. Get as detailed as possible. And then as we move into 2023, and first off, let me say this. Not just, I know I focus heavily on like career and calling and what you're supposed to be doing with your life. And when I talk about vision, it's a lot of times it's dealing with that. But going into this year, I want you to write a vision for every single aspect of your life. So if you're married, your marriage, right? If you have a family, your family. You personally, what is your vision for you personally? How is it? How do you want to be mentally, physically, spiritually? Like, how do you want to evolve in 2023? What is your vision for yourself? What is your vision? How do you want to be? Did I say physically? I said mentally. I think I said physically. I don't know. But if I didn't, mentally, physically, and spiritually, I think I did. But every single aspect that you can think of, I want you to write down, and I want you to have and go wherever you need to go and have that conversation with God. It's just like, look, reveal to me your vision for each aspect of my life. How do you want this to go? How do you want to play out? Because what we're going to do in 2023 is we're going to do this thing together. We're going to walk hand in hand, side by side, and you're going to be my partner in business and in life. And this is what we're going to do. So, as we are planning, just like I would plan for a business, right, with your business partner, you wouldn't leave them out and sit there and plan on your own. You would share. Y'all would go back and forth. You would talk about the different things. This is the thing that I want you to do when you're talking about your vision. It's not just yours, it's not just you, it's him too. So, include your business partner, your life partner, and ask, what do you have for me? And write those things down, because when you get that, what do you have for me? Those are promises, okay? Those aren't things that he's just telling you just to make you feel good. When you're writing these things down, you're writing things down that have already happened. Let's just get this straight, okay? I want you to understand that. These things have already happened. They just haven't happened in your physical reality. These are things that he's already seen. He already knows. He's letting you know beforehand. So when you're writing these things down, understand that you are carving out in your physical reality what is actually going to happen. So when you're writing these things down, I need you to focus on that. I don't care what happens in 2023. It can be January and the worst thing can happen, and it will try to knock you off your path. And I am telling you, I want you to look right back at it and say, I don't care what is happening around me. I don't care what my situation is telling me. I don't care what anybody else believes or doesn't believe, but I believe you. I trust you. And I am moving into 2023 with the confidence that I built in 2022. 2022 was my preparation period. And 2023 is going to be my harvest season. That's what it is, because you are telling me what is going to happen, and I'm writing these things down, and I trust every word that you say, Lord. Y'all, oh my goodness, I'm getting hot. I'm telling you, I am telling you, have that time. I don't care. In these next 4 days, I need you to carve out some time. It needs to be before the first. Okay, I need you to get very clear. I need you to get very specific on what it is in every single aspect of your life, what that vision is with God. What does He have for you? Write it down. Understand that when you write it down, it's there, it's done, and continue to walk in it as if you know that, as if you understand that, as if you breathe that. And don't let it out of your sight. Don't let it out of your sight. That is your job. That is your duty. You know, when we say, you had one job. That's your one job. Is to keep that as close to your heart and as close to your mind and as close to your eyes as possible, as physically possible, for you to breathe it, for you to live it, for you to talk about it, for you to dream it, for you to envision it, for you to speak it, whatever. I need you to be in it. And that is what I got. When we're talking about focusing, that's the focus. That is the focus. I need you to drill in like you never drilled in before. This is 2023, okay? And so my last thing, and y'all might not like this a little, y'all might not like this, but 2023, what I was given, is also the year that you're gonna be facing the things that you've been running away from, okay? So don't say you didn't know, because I'm letting you know right now. Anything that you've been running away from in 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, whatever, all those things that you've been running away from, you're going to need to face in 2023. And that includes the pieces of you that you've been running away from too. So, what do you mean? I don't run away from myself. How am I running away from myself? Trust me, there are pieces of ourselves that sometimes we don't want to address. Sometimes we don't want to face. Sometimes we don't want to look at, because they're not the best versions of ourselves as we see. They're not something that aids us. So we kind of just brush it off and we continue to look the other way. You're not going to be able to do that in 2023. That thing is going to be facing you right there, right there. And you're going to, again, you're going to have a choice now. You are going to have a choice of whether you want to face it or whether you want to continue running. But the thing is that if you continue running in 2023, you're still going to face it. So you're going to run right into it. So I'm just telling you, you can, at that moment, you have a choice, but after a while, you're going to see that you don't have a choice. You're going to have to face it. So I will give you an example. For me, the part of myself that I've been running from is, I call her the pusher. So she is the one that had shown up in 2018, 2019, part of 2020, somewhat of 2021. Like, she's just been showing up, and she is the one who takes things and blows it out of proportion. She is the one who is fully action oriented. She just does, and she does to the fullest, and she is competitive. She is sometimes ruthless. She is about that money. Okay, she's about the money. She is about the accomplishments. She wants it all and is willing to sacrifice it all for that. And so she had come out before, and I was brought, I guess once she was brought to my attention, it was where I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want her," because when she was present, I almost lost everything. Like everything. Marriage, like family, like everything. It was not good. It wasn't good. So as God moved me to the other side, right? So I was all the way over here on the left. As he moved me over here to the right, of really just being still, where he shut everything down for me. It was just like, look, I just want you to rely solely on me. Sit still, don't do anything. I've been on the right, and I haven't had to really deal with her at all. And so I've been getting accustomed to being still, which has been a whole thing for me. But once I started being comfortable, or I started becoming comfortable in this space, that's when God tapped me on the shoulder and was like, all right, now I need you to merge both of those and meet in the middle. And I'm like, huh? So I gotta face her. I don't really know how to work with her, because every other time that I've tried to work with her, she comes in and she sabotages everything. And I don't want that to happen. I've got so many memories of how things went awry and what I almost lost and how things were, that I don't want to go back there. And I'm not willing to go back there. So I'm afraid to look her in the face and say, well, hey, I don't like what you did there, but I do appreciate parts of you. And I appreciate what you bring, but I want us to just tone it down a little bit. So can we work together in this? I'm like, I don't even know how to do this. And one of the things that he told me is just like, look, this is where you trust me. This is where you trust me, but you have to let go. You have to be receptive to being, to even having that meeting with her, to even inviting her into your space, into your goals, into what it is that I have for you, into what it is that you want and you desire from your life. You have to be receptive to that, and to know when you're standing in front of her, or you're having that meeting or whatever it may be, you standing in that confidence that I know God's got my back. He's there. He's going to help me through this, even though I don't know the steps. I don't know how to deal with this right now. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm going to be led in the direction for all the puzzle pieces to come together. Because you know what I can do? I can go back and I can reach back and what he's done before for me. He's worked things out. He's done it before. He's shown me the way. He's led me. He's guided me. He's kept me. He's protected me. So why would he not do it over here? So I'm going to face those things, and I'm going to have the confidence knowing that, okay, I may be scared. It may be something that makes me feel uncomfortable, but I know that when it's all said and done, I'm good. I'm going to be okay. And so that's what I want you to walk into 2023 with. We know that we're going to be focused. We know that that's the word. We've got to be focused. We're focused on the vision. We're focused on the promise. And we're holding that close to our hearts. And we're understanding that no matter what is going on around us, it doesn't affect what is going to happen. It doesn't negate the promise. It doesn't negate the vision. It is what it is. What I wrote down is etched out in stone. There is nobody that can come now and erase it. Nobody. What I said is going to happen is going to happen, and I'm walking into that. But I'm also walking into 2023 knowing that I'm going to face parts of me and things that I've been fearful of, that I've been running from. But I know that I can face it because I'm walking in with the confidence that I built in 2022. I'm walking in, and even if you didn't build it this entire year, and you're gonna build it over the next 4 days, that's what you're gonna do. Because we're gonna walk into 2023 with that confidence that we know that we're gonna be taken care of. We know that it's going to be okay. We know that everything that we're writing down is going to come to pass. Whether it be a big ask, whether it be a small, I don't care. But understand that I want you and he wants you to ask big. Ask big, be bold, be audacious. Say the stuff that you've been thinking, that you've been wanting, the things that you've been desiring, the things that's been on your heart, but you've been too afraid to ask. Face it. This is the time to face it and to say it and to claim it and to ask for it. This is the time. Don't waste it. Don't waste y'all 2023. I'm telling y'all. So those are the things that I was given, and I wanted to share with y'all as we move into another year, and just hold tight. Hold tight to your belief. Okay, we've got 4 days. Show up and show out. Be bold. How whatever it is that you can do to show your confidence, to show your trust, to show your faith, not only to God, but to yourself, right? Because this is the strengthening period, this is the preparation period. So I want you to prepare yourself for walking into 2023. We got 4 days. So hold on to that belief. Hold on to what it is that He's promised you. Hold on to the vision that you have for 2022 because it ain't over. It's not over. All right. So again, I didn't pray in the beginning, so I'm gonna pray now. Dear Lord, thank you for everything that you've done for us, everything that you continue to do for us. Thank you for diligently showing up for us. Thank you for covering us. Thank you for the word that you've given us today. And just, Lord, I ask that you be with every single one of us that are on this call, that are live, that are watching the replay, that it's been shared with, whatever it may be. Just be with all of us as we're closing out 2022 and walking into 2023. Lord, give us the confidence, give us the strength, give us the faith, the full belief. If we need confirmation, and Lord, I ask that you give it to us within these next 4 days. Give us the confirmation that you are here, that is they still have time. You still have time to show up, and that you will show up in their lives, Lord. Allow that, just pump some faith into all of us, because I know that sometimes, life is tough. And 2022 hasn't been the easiest for most of us. So I just want you to breathe some life into us where we can just keep that for these next 4 days and roll it into 2023, Lord. I want 2023 to be one of our best year. No, actually the best year that we've had so far, Lord. Let this be the best year that we've had. And I want you to just listen to them as you do when they're having their time with you and just laying out the vision for each aspect of their life. Lord, I want you to breathe life into them. I want you to I want you to talk to them as clear as possible so that they don't have any doubts of whether they're hearing from you, whether it's them, whether it's going to happen. I want you to whisper directly into their ear and just have them just leave with the understanding and the knowing that this has already happened. I just simply have to walk into it. Lord, so I just ask that you be with each and every single one of us and just hold our hands, walk side by side with us, and just love on us from now on. Lord, just thank you for being with us. Thank you for everything that you've done and you continue to do. Thank you for continually showing up. Lord, I will thank you for allowing us to be used. Thank you for using us in our own separate and unique ways. Thank you for the gifts that you've given us. And Lord, thank you for the fact that we are and we will continue to be excellent investments for you. Lord, thank you for allowing us to be able to use all of our gifts in 2023 to make the impact that you've said that we will make and that you've shown that we will make. Thank you for the people that you are directing to us. Thank you for the fact that we're going to be able to lead them. Thank you for the fact that we're going to be able to guide them because we have opened ourselves up to be receptive to your guidance. Thank you. Amen. All right, y'all. So I will see you in the new year. All right. So next Wednesday, we're going to be in 2023. All right. So y'all got everything. If you missed something, go back. Okay, go back because I don't want you to miss anything. I want us to really go into 2023 with a bang. All right. So happy New Year, y'all. Bye bye. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.